Hey there guys, Friday time lapse here. Welcome to the next time lapse here on the channel. This one's actually going to be a Donald Duck time lapse. I decided I was going to make a Disney character for this one, and I spent a lot of time trying to come up with the background color for this one. I wanted to do a white or black, but there's a lot of white and black duct tape in this this design that I'm going to make. So I finally decided on the kind of like the wine colored duct tape, kind of like the reddish brown, ruddy brown color. And I was considering using like pink and lime green and a whole bunch of other colors, but finally went with the dark red that they make. It's really an awesome color. I love using it because it's not quite as brown as the dark brown, but then again, it's not like that blatantly giant red tape that Duck Brand makes as well. So now you can see Donald Duck on there. And my color printer hates me. It always seems to conk out like every other week, it seems like. So it's all in black and white, but I'll be able to look at my computer screen over to the left and kind of decide on what colors I need it to be. The major background color for this one is black, so I'm going to be using mostly black to kind of just use that as the background and almost like a silhouette starting out here. So first and foremost, going to go all the way around the design. And you'll notice, of course, that there's a lot of black border lines in here to kind of give the character, just some lines and kind of figure out what the different sections are. So that was what I was decided to do. And of course, I have to pay very close attention to those lines. You'll see me use a few little tricks in this video, which is kind of cool. And you'll see me kind of work with that later on towards the video. So I had to cut out a little piece for his bill, and then I'll stick those on, and then we'll be working on the major parts of the time lapse. Alright, so here we go. So working on the electric blue tape for his hat first. I guess I could have used the dark blue duct tape, but the electric blue seems to be the right color for this. I think it was a pretty good match, and it seemed to work out pretty well, so I went with the electric blue. So cutting out the part of his hat. And I actually made this whole video with a fairly dull hobby knife blade. I probably should have just switched it out, but I decided to just use up whatever life that hobby knife blade had left in it and then just work from there. So now I'm going to start working on all the white portions of his face, and these are actually going to be done in pieces like I normally make a lot of my time lapses. When you have a giant image, it's very difficult to just do it all in one piece. So I'm going to cut it out all individually, use my paper image as a template, and then I'm going to just work on this in very slow portions here. So this is the majority of his face right here. And then after this, I'm going to start working on, I believe part of his bill is next. I waited till the very end to do his eyes, which are also white in this specific picture of him. This was kind of an old style picture of Donald Duck. It's definitely not one of the more contemporary images. I think it's more like the old classic vintage style Donald Duck, and you can kind of tell because of his hat. It's kind of like got that old style look to it. So this is that last piece on the right. It kind of lines up with those few little feather puffs, I guess, on the right, those little feather points on the right side there below the hat. And it looks pretty good. So now I'm going to start working on his bill. So you're going to be using the white duct tape, the yellow duct tape for this. I think I was colorblind or something. So I'm working on the yellow part now, and this is kind of the just the whole wraparound for his bill. It's mostly yellow, but then they have that part inside his mouth which is orange, and then that triangle is made out of pink duct tape. So I get a chance to use my pastel pink again, which is kind of cool. I haven't used that since the Wicked poster way back, probably about 3 or 4 months ago. So it's been a while since I've used pastel pink. Don't use a lot of the pastel colors too often, but I do definitely like using them. So working on these portions now, of course all those black highlights will be shown through when I stick this part of his bill on, and that's of course if I apply it correctly. So I'm using that paper image once again. And you're going to see me kind of cheat a little bit here. I kind of just cut a piece off and then I rearranged it, so you can see me cut right there, and then I kind of just stuck it down on a different portion. And if you cut kind of just on a nice swooping angle, you can move that other piece around without it actually, without really messing it up, I guess I'll say. And I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but his bill was a little too close to the bridge of his nose, so I actually trimmed a little bit of that off. So now you can see there's a little bit of a black border line in between the trim of his nose and his bill. So now working on his eyes, I just worked on the orange part for the inside of his mouth. And the eyes are actually created, his major parts of his eyes are created by the circular angle of that white piece. So I kind of have to work on making that perfect, that piece right there that I'm working on. Otherwise it's not going to look like a very good eye. So now you're going to see me do a little bit of a trick here. When I stick this on, you'll notice at the very top of the eye that it's really close and it's totally white. So what I'm going to do is trim that piece a little bit, and then when I peel this piece off, you'll see there's a nice spot right there. So it looks perfect. So now working on that triangle for his tongue. Add the pastel pink, of course. And then this will pretty much wrap up the video time lapse here. So, and there it is. So I think it looks pretty cool. Definitely a vintage look for Donald Duck. A little applause for me there. And I think it looks pretty nice. So I'm going to give it a little bit of a close-up. You can see all the different colors. And that's Donald Duck. So hopefully you guys liked the video. I'll catch you on the channel sometime soon for some more videos coming soon. Here we go.